Hello guys, Fred here from Pro Tennis Trader. Hope you're well. So we've got another member trading video, and this is the match of Nakashima versus Mijedovic in Almaty. So Nakashima has just taken the first set in a tie-break. So we're just having a look at how the first set points were won and how the tie-break. So it was 7-5 in the tie-break. So good first set performance from Mijedovic. 5 aces. Bit low on first serve percentage, 58, but 86% of first serves going in. 11 versus 8 unforced errors. And he won 49% of the first set total points. So is Mijedovic to serve first, so he's going to put his trades in now. Nice pricing scenario at the start of the second set here. So 1.19 on Nakashima. Now I did trade this one myself. And it's very interesting price movement to keep an eye on in this match, and some key points that we're going to cover. I don't know exactly how this member traded this, but I'll compare how the member traded it and of course how I traded it. So we can see already at 40.15 we've got nice price movement there. So the member is actually putting the order in at 40.15, which I do recommend. Quite often you actually get a bit of overreaction in price, and the price can actually be better. He was 40 love up, went to 40.15. Nice price movement there from 1.19 to 1.24 and 6.2 to 5.1. Now the member has struggled to get a live stream on this, so he's on the match view. I always recommend trying to get a visual of the match. You can just see, what's going on, specifically if there's any injuries happening or anything like that. It's just always better to have a visual. Now you see the profit is actually £4, so these are £10 stakes, so that's actually 20% profit just from that first service game, which is good. Always looking for a minimum of 10%. So 20% is very nice price movement there. That is the kind of sweet spot, that sort of 1.17 to 1.20 on the first set winner. Do tend to get the better price movements. Now Mijedovic has just gone love 15 up, and already you can see the price is shifting quite a bit. So we're down to 4.5 on Mijedovic. Overall liability is £7.50, and the total upside is £52 here. Now, is he going to take some money out of the market to capitalise on the overreaction? Yes, he is. We're down to 3.95. You note that Fairbot preempted the staking there and was not far off the amount actually put in, so locking in some profit, and the profit's looking pretty nice there. That's £6.74 just at this very early stage of the second set. So 3.9 on Mijedovic, 1.39 on Nakashima. Now remember, Nakashima did start this first set at 1.19. So big price movement there. I went to love 40. Now, he's only got half a point in the market, so I'd say he is right to hold that in there. Personally, I probably would have taken a little bit more out, but it's showing good profit here, so at 1 point profit at the moment. Now there is going to be a spoiler alert here. Actually, Nakashima does come back from this, so we don't actually get the break. £12.4, really nice profit just on £10 stakes at the moment. So Nakashima has just come back from 1540 to deuce. You see there just the live stream playing up. That does happen from time to time on Betfair. I tend to use Bet365 myself. You'll find sometimes one might be slightly quicker than the other. There's no real golden rule for which one is quicker. I tend to have them both up, and if there is one that is a little bit quicker, then I will use that one. We've got the Betfair match view here. And just keep an eye on the pricing. So obviously the profit was actually over £10 when Nakashima was at 1540. And we're going to go back to, there you go, he's taken the game. So we're back to pretty much where we were before. So the market had a little bit more confidence in Mjedovic. So it's just trying to get a little bit better pricing there. But this is the service game where it kind of all changes. And there's going to be some key points to take on board here. Absolutely right to re-enter. The key factors at the moment, definitely to consider, are the fact that Mjedovic did lose the first set in a tiebreak. If you watched a few of my videos, and particularly the Beware the Tiebreak video, let's just take a quick look at this pricing. So see quite dramatic price movements here. So Mjedovic, Nakashima. So he reached the low of 1.19, which is the price that he got in at the start of this second set. So Mjedovic here is going to 30-15. Yeah, so I was saying about the tie, but yeah, so you've always got to be a little bit more cautious when a player has lost the first set on a tie break. And particularly here, I seem to remember, he doesn't go, I thought he went 40-15, no, so it's 30 all. So already you can see the price is darting around a bit. So Mjedovic is now at 5.2, and you see the profit just going up and down. So he goes 40-30, 5.2, that then shortens to 4.8. And the next few points is where we see quite dramatic price shifting, obviously on both players. But the market just starts to lose a bit of confidence. And as a trader, particularly in that last game, where he looked like he was going to break Nakashima, if you focus on the psychology of it, you know, he's lost in the tie break. He was close to winning the first set. He was very close to getting a break in that previous service game. Sorry, Nakashima's service game. So this is your first alarm bell. Now this is an opportunity to get out the trade. I wouldn't get out this early, but just keep an eye on this first juice. We've got 5.6 on Mjedovic, and the profit and loss is at evens. And you'll see how the price does shift when it goes to advantage Nakashima. Actually, the pricing had already shifted. There you go, 7.6. And look at the profit and loss already. You know, had you got out at deuce, you could have got it out at evens. We're looking about half point in the red here. And obviously the break would pretty much double that. So the pricing has moved already before the score. So we're back at deuce. So here's the second opportunity to actually exit out of the market, actually just slightly in the green as well. And this is bearing in mind that, you know, again, as I said earlier, he lost in the tie break and he missed out on that break. If a player keeps going to deuce, you know, this is an alarm bell. So advantage. Now, personally, I would be taking some money out of the market there. The member hasn't done so. Yes, he is kind of hoping that, you know, Mjedovic is going to hold, but this is the point where you have to be a lot more cautious. And the whole sort of, fear and greed aspect comes into play. And we're going to go back to our third deuce. So third deuce there, and look, another opportunity to get out of the market. When it keeps going to deuce, you're not trading anymore. You're pretty much gambling. And of course the liability, because new trades were entered here, is at minus 24. Obviously big upside at 122. There's a lot of liability sat in the market here, and we're sat at deuce, going from deuce to advantage to either player. We're now in a gambling situation. Now, there's another opportunity to take at least some money out of the market to reduce that liability. But the member has kept this trade in. So 1.23 or 1.2 on Nakashima. I think we've just gone to deuce again. Yeah, the pricing has gone to deuce. Bear in mind we're at, it's 5.2 on Mjedovic. We're not quite at deuce yet. This is second serve, so back at deuce. And of course the last deuce, you could have got out at evens, actually just slightly in the green, and we're now in the red. So Mjedovic's price is sat at 6.2. Nakashima at 1.19. Now I would certainly be looking to get out of the market here. This is very much a gambling scenario now. And advantage Mjedovic again. Is he going to get out with advantage Mjedovic? And you can see this time there's not actually too much price movement there. So the market is losing confidence in Mjedovic because, of course, he is the server and he's struggling to hold here, just close out this service game. So back at deuce, Mjedovic is now at 6.6. And of course, the profit and loss is now close to, actually is at half a point. Is he going to get out of the market? If I hadn't got out before, I would absolutely be getting out of the market at this point. I think we're on the, is this the fourth or the fifth deuce? I think it might be the fourth deuce. And I think, yep, Mjedovic advantage again. Now you could argue, if he keeps going to advantage, then, it is sort of favouring him, but it doesn't really work like that. It's all well and good him getting the advantage, but if he's not being able to close out this service game, then, you've got yourself a problem there. So you saw even at advantage, right, it's got out. I think that was the, so this was going to be, yeah, so this will be the fifth deuce. Now, I certainly wouldn't have stayed in this late. So price is 7.4 on Mjedovic, 1.16 on Nakashima. Now, Nakashima does break here. Now, just keep an eye on the pricing. Now, he's actually got out not too much damage there. It was obviously disappointing from seeing nice green in that first service game from Nakashima. But of course, this is trading. You will see your profit and loss go up and down. And it's all part of trading. But of course, risk management, keeping an eye on your downside is the most important thing in trading. And you can see Mjedovic's price really drifting out there at 8.2. And we'll see the drift when he does actually break. There we go. So he's been broken. Look at that. 8.2 to 22. Now that would have been absolutely catastrophic had you kept that full stake in the market. This is why we have these rules. 1.05 on Nakashima. That's why it's always important to manage your risk. Always keep an eye on that downside. Obviously, you want to capitalize on your upside as much as possible, but you've got to protect these losses. He actually got out with not too much damage, to be fair. Had he got out when I got out, this would have been at evens or even just slightly in the green, but also locking in profit earlier when it looked like he was going to get the break. Could have got away with a much more favourable result here. Obviously, trades do go against us. But if you can minimise these losses, then of course your long-term profitability is much healthier. So some interesting learning points that I covered here. Hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comment section if you do like these types of videos where I critique and you just see how different people trade. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but of course we do have these rules in place to ensure that we are profitable traders. Now, if you would like to begin your journey into tennis trading, you can of course do at protennistrader.teachable.com, where I offer the full package to get you up and running as a professional tennis trader. You can start off with my free video course, a free introduction into tennis trading. If you would like to join the complete one, that provides absolutely everything you need and also includes a month of platinum traders. I am also a Forex trader and I offer the one Forex strategy on my website. And of course, please do follow me on YouTube, Pro Tennis Trader, where you can find loads of trading videos, in-play analysis, trading psychology, and a lot more. Until the next time, good luck with your trading, and I'll speak to you soon.